So Wallace is in the midfield. He may be running with Fife, which would be an enormous task for him.
Umpires this afternoon: Chamberlain, Pennell seems to be okay after that clash in Sydney, and Mitchell. And away we go. Sandilands and Minson. Good bounce to open proceedings. Sandilands decisively back to Mundy. Went looking for Sandilands. Cooney over the football. Deflects it back towards half back. Wallace went after it. Dalhouse a quick kick. Bounces just wide of the centre circles. Barlow. Duffield in trouble. Knew where the help was. Back to Spur to Barlow. Knocked down well by Roughhead. Well played. Feeds it forward. Williams gives a hand pass across towards support and Howard. Howard kicks inside the forward 50. Cramry takes it on the bounce. Long ball. Plenty of Dockers back. Dalhouse gets amongst them. Dalhouse could have been held. Opportunity off the boot. Just wide of the mark. I fancy. It was Roughhead in mid-air. Tried to throw it on the boot on the way down. Sort of succeeded.
Really intelligent kick then from Cramry too, just to give the ball some air so that the forwards could actually get to the contest.
So Pavlich couldn't hang on to that one. Pearson Murphy. Good tackle over the top from Morris. And rewarded. Been a fine player, and so is the guy that he's given it to, Murphy. It goes short to Dalhouse. Got the X factor, hasn't he, Dalhouse? Joey Montagna talked about him pre-match. So Murphy played most of his footy up forward this year. He's the ultimate swing man, though, isn't he?
Close to the boundary line, Williams. Bounced to the advantage of Dawson, but it was out. So boundary throw-in down towards right half forward for the Western Bulldogs.
At the moment, Johnson is picking up Cramry, so that's how they're going to try and engage him if they possibly can.
Minson. Sandilands fell at their feet. Barlow's got it. Immediately attracts a crowd. 3 Bulldogs take him down.
And down the other end, Picken has got the job on Ballantyne.
A nasty couple of competitors there, face to face.
Sandilands at his feet again. Minson, the better recovery. Kicks inside the forward 50. Hangs a long time in the air. Dawson edged his man under the footy. Bounces obligingly then for Johnson up towards the wing. Ballantyne wearing Picken. The vice versa really. Picken gets a hand pass away. Now an opportunity. Rovac goes back. Nicely done. Roberts. Picken. Now a chance for Higgins.
And Higgins with a good little one to Wallace. So Wallace back in the team today. To Stevens. Stevens to full forward. Sandilands filled the hole and takes the mark.
Yeah, they can't do that. Sandilands has dropped back 3 times in a row now, leaving Vincent up the ground, so the Bulldogs need to lower their eyes.
So Crowley getting it out wide now. Cooney and Mzungu, and a boundary throw in.
I like where Wallace actually positioned himself then when the Bulldogs went forward. Rather than going really deep, he actually stayed about halfway, which meant that Fife is going to have to stay with him, and he won't be able to be used as that aerial player deep in defence either.
Minson wide. Helped the Dockers actually. Daniel Pearce to Mundy along the boundary line. Game number 301. Matthew Pavlich drives down towards left half forward. That's a clever kick into the path of Daniel Pearce, who's run on hard. Wouldn't quite sit for him. Griffin now harassing him. Pearce tries to soccer it off the ground. Griffin did well, just blocked it, and it ricochets out of bounds.
Do you reckon the sprinklers got hold of that one, Dan? It just did not sit up at all.
What about those sprinklers, eh? Ross Lyon out there, gardening.
So Sandilands, Cooney reading it pretty well, and then having to hook it back. And the ball stays in. Cramry up the ground. Little give was good to Liberatore. So they've been able to draw a man. Rovac, that was clever. The 19-year-old, well done. Stevens looked up. He ran into a brick wall, though. And Dawson, so the opportunity goes. And then Duffield and Sutcliffe and Spurs. So down the line to half forward. Cutting across Roberts.
Young fella. Just carving a niche back there to Griffin, to Higgins, Picken. And now Morris finds himself in space. Bounces one towards Liberatore. Hill did well, stopped his progress. Cramry, though, the beneficiary, sends it inside 50. Roughhead. Crowd suggesting he was held, so it's Roughhead now, but the ball bounces harmlessly out of bounds. So we've got a throw in at left full forward. Not a big crowd. Not a nice day to be travelling around Melbourne. Rained pretty much non-stop. Sandilands knocks it down through the legs of Fife. Minson realising his best chance might be on the ground. It comes out the back. Wallace across to Cooney. And Cooney, surprised like everybody else, kicks it out of bounds on the full.
So they've had a couple of chances, haven't they, the Dogs? In fact, it's been mainly in their forward half so far. But Ross Lyon teams are good at absorbing, we know that. And they're in for the long haul. They're in the jungle, aren't they? And as he told us earlier, Morris. So good stuff there, picking, getting it from Wood, and getting the ball inside the forward 50, high tackle, free kick to Rovat. Well, Dalhouse took the advantage. There was not any. Williams, it was touched off the boot. And is that gone through us at behind?
I just want to ask Joey that question about taking the advantage. We see it so often, week in, week out, where you lose the advantage. Well, the player takes the advantage when they really are in a position where they can go back and have a shot for goal.
Just another instance where players just need to have composure. It's a different type of composure, but when it's inside 50, you should be allowing your teammate to have a set shot.
Crowley to McFarlane. Minson, nicely done. Just holding back Sandilands, going to the ball late. Lovely kick too. Murphy wheels around to space Tutt. Now here's a long kick. He's free. He runs to 55, sends it down towards full forward. Johnson comes back. Crowley in from the side, 3-on-1, and the 3 prevail. Ryan Crowley in the defensive goal square. Sends it back outside the 50. Minson and Sandilands off their hands. Going to ground McRae. Well done by Neil. Stood up in a tackle. Gave it to Clark. Mzungu back to Clark. Mzungu developing into a very good player. Here's Daniel Pearce.
He's got a couple of options. He goes the Sutcliffe way. Now Clark running very hard here. He's been able to get some time and space. And then goes with a low one. Clever kick. This will be a goal. Ballantyne turns his man. Hooks it back. First goal of the match. Well thought out, wasn't it?
That was a terrific run by Zach Clark there. He was at centre-half back and he took off, and that showed some real athleticism to get past the Bulldogs defenders to take that mark and then wheel around and get inside 50. It was great work rate.
Their problem is at the other end, though, too, at the moment, the Western Bulldogs, when they go forward. Those long kicks, that's where it started. That turnover really deep in their forward line. And they've got to look to find players and lower their eyes between, say, 30 and 50 out and just keep that defence honest.
It's going to be hard, but you're right. Bulldogs need to be patient going inside 50. If they just bomb it to the top of the square, Fremantle will pick that off all day. So they really need to be patient, lower their eyes and try and find a short pass.
Played over 5.5 minutes. Second inside 50 for Fremantle. Dogs did all the attacking. Freo get the first goal. Ball comes across to Fife, to Crowley, hurriedly. Sends it down towards the half-forward line. Terrific mark. Higgins going back. Well, the umpire says Pavlich had a fair bit of it too.
That's courageous in the air there by Higgins too, going back with the flow of the ball.
Would have thought he was in front, if nothing else. Still, break for Fremantle. Standing up in the tackle there was Roughhead. Comes back to him. Roughhead just let it fall at his feet. Now to Cooney. Cooney in the congestion. Sends a high ball to midfield. Crameri in front. McFarlane the fist away. Duffield knocked away from him. Opportunity for Neil. He was tackled without it. Cooney's got it. Tries to get it across the top to Wallace. Eventually they work it okay. McRae gave it to Liberatore out wide to Wood. Cooney. And now it's sent forward by Higgins.
To a contest on the wing. Crameri was exhausted there, and that ball over the line and the boundary throw in.
Early concern for Fremantle with Fife coming off. Just having the doctor have a look at a lower leg injury. We'll wait to see what the assessment is.
Well, that would send a shockwave through the state, but Mark will keep an eye on him. Subin got down lowest. And twisting, and now ball not out and the ball up.
Players are really uncertain when they go for that ball on the ground now. They're not quite sure whether they should be turning their body, whether they should be going head first, whether or not they're going to. Like you see that moment of hesitation now that we probably didn't see in football until the last 6 or so games.
Jim Minson did well there, and then a ball forward, just not taken cleanly by Williams. They had a real chance there, the Dogs. And high tackle on Spur.
I suppose, Tim, if you ask the lawmakers, that's what they're after, that hesitation. Looks a little bit odd, though, doesn't it?
You see players actually stop now.
Spur, well, that's a poor kick onto the chest of Morris. Morris comes square. left centre wing, Roughhead. Cruising past his picker, not required. McRae, been impressed with him. Well, not his best effort. Was a touch by the man lunging across his boot. Ballantyne it was, so we'll get a boundary throw in.
Still growing McRae too, Dennis.
Well done, Ballantyne.
They recruited him as a 188. I think he's up to about 192 and still going.
Finish up getting a ruckman fit.
It's the way footy's evolving, isn't it, with the height. So Cooney, that's a kick to Tutt. Well done by Tutt. And then Rovat to full forward. Now the bounce important here. McFarlane deliberately taps it over and he is pinged for it.
He's going to be a player, Rovat, though, isn't he? Yeah. Each time he touches the ball, he just looks like he knows exactly what it is that he's required to do.
And him falling off the Bulldogs rating really highly. Lindsay Gilby's an assistant, and he said the Bulldogs rate Rovat really highly.
So Williams just has to think his way through this. And he got too much of it, and it's a poor result. Oh, is it? Well, it's a score assist because Roberts takes the mark. That was weird.
That is one of those set plays they've been working on during the week.
Wow, what odd's that? How did that happen? Pythagoras is working on it, eh?
Got him stumped, I reckon.
So Roberts, and after all that, it's a behind.
Well, you see Brennan Goddard fluff one last night, and it went in the opposite direction to where he wanted it to. Anybody can do it.
Sutcliffe to the pocket, and Johnson. Johnson out of defence. Oh, showed a lot of it to Dalhouse. Didn't need much to see and knocked it across the boundary line. Well done.
Good news for Fremantle. Fife back into the play. He looks fine. And Ballantyne's off with just a little eye injury, but he moves back on as well. So good news for Fremantle.
Minson and Sandilands absorbing duel. Fife cruising past, had it momentarily, goes back to find it, tackled immediately by Wallace. Sandilands gave it to Barlow, hurried kick out of the pack, bounces up towards the wing. Morris does well, heard the voice. McRae again, just lobs it towards the 50. Wallace on the stretch takes the mark. Dad used to be a captain of these Bulldogs. Steve down towards full forward. Pack in the air, quick movement. Behind the pack, a chance for Dalhouse. Goes to Stevens. Stevens back to Tutt. Tutt deep in the pocket. Just shins it across towards full forward. Still a live ball. Goes right across the face of goal. Barlow to Johnson. Cleverly lays it down for Hill. And Hill clears it.
You're right, Den. It was clever by Johnson. Your courage provided there from Clark and a couple of doggies. Roberts, Minson, Picken. Spades of courage with him now. Wood, if he can get on his bike, he just couldn't get the momentum up. Tutter's been lively, and Stevens, probably within range, takes the mark.
Gee, they defend well Fremantle, don't they? They just make it really hard for you to get a clean, clear shot at goal.
The Bulldogs need some reward for effort. That's their 10th inside 50. Freo's only had 3. They need to kick a goal and get some score.
And it's a bit of both too, isn't it, Mark? Because it's Freo's very good defence that Tim's talking about, but also the Dogs just their method going forward. So you've got to be smart against a Ross Lyon coach team. We know that. Stevens, well, it's a poor kick, and they've kicked pretty poorly inside that forward 50 so far today. And Mundy away.
Don't they get back in numbers? Of course, it gives the other crowd numbers for the next kick, and the kick coming out wasn't great. Stevens gives a hand pass to Wood. He'll pump it back in. It floats towards the pocket. Good result for the Dogs, would be out of bounds. This one stays in. Heavy collision just inside the field of play. What a courage from Dalhouse and Sutcliffe.
Just have a look at this, Dennis. This bit of play here by Minson, just sort of to knock the ball back into the dangerous part of the ground. That's really smart play by him.
Boundary throw in, just around from that action in the pocket. Sandilands needs to be careful now. Lost the footy. Bontempelli came out of that pack. With the football is Wallace. And the ball up.
Bontempelli, Joey, another one of those huge midfield kids that are playing the game now.
Yeah, 191 centimetre. Pendlebury like Bontempelli. He's going to be a very good player.
Wallace out the back, can't get the handball away. Fife and Mundy both put the tackle on, and that footy not going anywhere for the moment. The ball up.
Howard is the Western Bulldogs spare behind the ball. He's got an important role today, because when they move the ball so quickly from their half-back line, Fremantle, he needs to get in a position where he can influence the play and help out his Bulldogs defence.
It's the first game he's playing this year too at this level, so chance maybe to make a mark today. Crowley hacking it forward. It's a late inclusion, Howard, for Boyd. Jermaine used his body well. Pavlich Barlow, Mundy off a step. That was a good kick. Really, Ballantyne had the chance. Interesting when Mundy, without stirring the pot too much, noticed the
article today.
Saw the trade, well, not the trade talk, but just the maybe uncertainty about the long-term future.
This happened last time his contract came up for renewal too.
Sandilands. Cooney goes in strongly. Well done. What a hard footy from the wing. No one touched the footy. Still runs on. And now there's a whistle, and the free kick is going the Dogs' way. Dalhouse will take it. They're masters. They're masters of that edging players under the ball, even the small ones, aren't they, the Dockers? That's a bad kick by Dalhouse, intended for Liberatore. Had it knocked away. Liberatore keen to make amends. Coming through out there was Howard. Knocks it forward, taken by Crowley. On the boundary line, this one is floating out of bounds on the full.
I joked to Joey on the way down to as we see that. I'd love to have seen picking on Crowley today. It would have been a...
Well, it's on Ballantyne. You got your second best.
I did. Yeah, it's sort of the main event anyway, isn't it, Wallace?
This is where I really like to see the Bulldogs spread the ball here and come out the other side and really utilise the space instead of being predictable and down the line.
Fife, good tackle. Griffin, who hasn't really been involved too much. Liberatore, beautiful handball. Stevens goes for goal. Gee, that was good stuff. They needed it. They've earned it. Well, good hands. I thought for one moment Stevens had taken one stride too many, but he dobbed it.
Well, they've created so many chances when they've gone forward without actually being able to nail it. 13 inside 50s to 3. So the ball has been in their end of the ground. They need to get some reward for that. And again, Fife got hold of the ball, but there's real pressure on him. And you're not going to stop a great player from getting his hands on the ball. But the thing you can do is actually pressure his possessions. And that's exactly what they've done in the early part.
Yeah, Brendan McCartney has to be really pleased with their start. The contested ball at the moment is 30-17 in favour of the Bulldogs. So they're keeping the ball in their forward half. As I said, inside 50s, 13-3. They're giving themselves plenty of opportunities early.
Dogs lead it by 3 for the second consecutive week. Their first goal coming from the boot of the former West Coast Eagle. Cody Stevens out of the pack. Robat did brilliantly. Gives it across to McRae. Nice looking kick to Cranmery. Couldn't hang on. It's 2-on-1. McFarlane tries to get it out. Not much doing there. Leg was Griffin. No, they took the advantage again. Oh, gee. Robat just coughed it up. Neil couldn't believe his luck. Goes back to Dawson. Duffield. Neil. Almost need a hard and fast rule in there. Johnson, just stop as quickly as you can. Hard to do, I know. Spur up towards the wing. Pavlich reaches over the top. Terrific grab. 155th game as captain at the interchange gates. Goes down towards half forward. Zach Clark going back Fife. Well, Clark was trying to protect Fife. He did a great job.
And then Fife centering.
That's where he's going to get Wallace. They're the difficult ones for Wallace to defend because Fife just took off, and aerially he's going to be able to outmark Wallace every time. He actually came with the fly of the ball, as you can see here. He's one of the best marks in the competition, Fife. So anytime they keep and break the ball over halfway, that's where they'll be looking to get to Fife because of that advantage. So
11 minutes since they've had an inside 50, believe it or not, the Dockers. And Pearce has struck that well. I think it's touched on the way through, so Murphy getting up. Well, Joey, we're off air talking. I mean, how do you match up Fife? I mean, give me the player that can match up with him. I mean, he's such a difficult match-up, isn't he? Yeah, there's not too many. Wallace is just going to have to do the best he can when Fife pushes forward, but that is where he's going to expose Wallace.
Subban snatches it away. McRae trying to get it out. Now it's with Mundy. Mundy broadens things. Awkward bounce for Ballantyne, though. The idea was right. McRae finding a lot of the footy. Sends it out towards the wing. Williams.
Good Cranmery.
Sends it down towards half-forward and Cranmery. Can he get there on the angled run? No. Waiting in front for Dalhouse. Lowers the eyes. And Robat has taken the mark. Covered a bit of ground. He was across half-back moments ago, Robat. Run right up the corridor and has a chance to score from 35 metres out.
See that combination? Yeah, it's going to be a handful, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
They're both really clever at being able to find space in the forward line, these two. And that's a great finish there too by Dalhouse.
Saw him make his debut. I think from memory had close to 20 possessions that day. Really impressive. Squat player, and he comes. Kick into the man on the mark. There you go. Neil's after it, falling to the ground. Mzungu, very adroit, close in with a hand passing. Spur looking for Crowley, over the top. Griffin knocks it out of bounds.
Griffin, just a couple of handballs, but he earned a free kick that Rovat played on with a moment ago when the advantage was coughed up. So we've seen a couple of those for the Dogs. Sandlands gets over Minson. Jim Mundy strong in the tackle. Hill, does he keep it in? Not sure. No, out on the full.
Just think with Griffin being picked up by Crowley, one of the great things that Griffin's got is leg speed. I reckon he's better just laying off those stoppages a little bit and taking a run at them.
So Higgins wide. Now Picken's got a pad at mouth. Now Cooney's worked hard here, and he's going to go shorter, and that's a very poor kick by Picken. That's an awful turnover. Mzungu, Main, back to Mzungu. Mzungu, the left foot. Picken and Fife, danger here. Subin, a natural left footer, we know. Ridden into the ground. Ibbotson goes to ground. Handball, didn't really get it away to Ballantyne, and the Dogs may escape here, but that was Sheridan a moment ago, not Ibbotson. And Picken just missed 2 targets.
It's one of the more important kicks in footy now, that one off half back, particularly if you're going to come back into the corridor.
Mundy decisively. Unfortunately, Sheridan had to wait, had momentum, but had to reach back. And the moment was lost. So the ball up about 40 metres out. The Dogs have done most of the attacking so far. Fremantle very good at defending. Again this afternoon so far it's been impeccable. There goes the kick from Neil just out to the right, and he misses. So Fremantle trail by a point. The Bulldogs with some chances. 1-3, 1-2.
Which is good effort by Mundy there, wasn't it? As the third man up.
That was a let-off, wasn't it?
Picken had the job on Ablett, of course, last week. What an eventful afternoon that turned out to be. So now the spread wide. Mark McVeigh, our field commentator, talking about the fact he'd like the Dogs, when they go forward, maybe to spread them up. It was Roberts to Cramry. And then Cramry, Williams closing quickly. Duffield with courage. McFarlane on the up. Neil goes inside. Hill could kick a goal. Shades of Cardinia Park last year, not quite, but it's his most famous goal. But a good finish.
It's a beautiful kick, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a beautiful mover all round, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sort of purrs Dennis, I reckon, doesn't he, the way he runs and that?
Yeah.
And his brother's making a real mark, so that's a bit of stimulation to keep your form right up, isn't it?
The Hill brothers got a ring to it too.
Just have a look at this turnover again. Cramry comes back inside. They're very good, Fremantle, just showing you a little bit of space and then just closing that down so quickly, enticing you into those spaces. And those kicks just have to be so accurate.
Dockers lead it by 5 then. Wayward bounce. Sandlands with a run, taps it down. Is that in the back? I think it was. So a free kick to McRae. Plays on immediately. Easton Wood alongside the centre circles. Bit unfair for the forwards, that one. That's a good mark. Well done by Spur. Unheralded when he came to the club. A real fixture back there now. Comes out wide. Clark. Spring. Couldn't complete the mark though. Falls behind him. Neil in trouble. Clark quickly to his feet. Runs past. And that's a lovely kick too. Hill needs to be careful. Well, that was a wonderful, courageous mark. It needed judgment. He had that. He always does. He looked back over the wrong shoulder. Had to go and find it then. There was a player bearing down, and in amongst that chaos, he's done brilliantly.
That's a great kick too, Dennis. You're quite right. He caught it beautifully there. The athleticism of Clark has been really evident in this first quarter.
And Lee, that's that turnover, isn't it? That high kick that's not lowering your eyes and just comes straight back and hurts you.
So Hill, got his second goal in the space of 90 seconds, puts it through. Impressive. He just runs you off your legs. I mean, you think back to fewer interchange, he would have been a very hard man to contain. Nowadays, of course, fresh bodies against him all the time, but invariably, he runs a lot of those blokes off their legs. Searching run, deep into attack, and given the footy. So the margin now is 11 points.
there must be that endurance gene that runs through the Hill boys, because I think it was Brad Hill that actually set the record, didn't he, at the AFL draft camp.
And I think this is where the buys really help Fremantle, because you see the way how taxing their defence is. They push hard back in defence, but then when they get the chance, with fresh legs, they can sprint forward to the ball. Five's done it now. We've seen Hill do it, Clark earlier. That's where they get their chances to score.
7 inside 50s for the Dockers, 5 scores, so they've been efficient as well. So they get a little bit of breathing space on the board. Minson hacked it forward. It was a good effort. McFarlane, well done. Johnson just cut off though by Minson.
On the mark! Stay clear, guys! Stay clear!
So saw Crowley and Griffin a moment ago. Dangerous kick. Liberatore may go here. Now he's about 55 metres out. He caressed it to the top of the square. Big fly came from Williams. Cooney was first lurking. Bontempelli, Tut, held up, Tut, and the ball up.
It was a good call. He actually did caress it. He pulled his kick then. He knew that he didn't have the distance in his leg to be able to go all the way, and he looked to where the numbers were. It was a smart kick in the end by Liberatore, but unfortunately they weren't able to mark it.
Bontempelli boots the ball, moved it about 5 metres, darting in. Mzungu, strong tackle, got him down. Well done, McRae. And the Dockers very keen to get it back over the line. Not a lot of pressure there, but he felt a closeness. Turned out to be 2 of his teammates. Not sure that factors into the rule. Short one. Sandilands. That's a great duel, Sandilands and Minson right now. Minson doing pretty well. Mzungu, Main on the overlap, just pushing up the ground is Sheridan. Pavlich comes to him. Now runners scooting everywhere. Mzungu wants it back. That's hard running. Moments ago had it deep inside his own defensive 50. So Mzungu just forward of the wing. Spots Mundy.
Good hands by Mzungu.
Hold there. That's Easton. Move it on now.
Now Pavlich is in a hole here. He may go to him. No, he's going to go a little further and wider. And took good mark by the little guy. Rovat, eh? Cranmery sweeping a dangerous handball. Rough head. Higgins. Cranmery. Oh, they're dicing with it here. Main good tackle on Liberatore. Murphy being swamped here. Not quite the purple haze, but you know what I mean. Getting down low, Pearce gets to Pavlich. Pavlich hooking back, top of the goal square. Oh, what a clever mark.
Geez, their eyes lit up there, didn't they, Tim, when they saw the Bulldogs start handballing in their 50. Main and Ballantyne, just their eyes lit up and they just went to work, didn't they?
Almost as if they'd rather apply tackle than get a kick. That's pretty rare, Tim.
It's like a fly in a spider's web, wasn't it?
But he was chasing and then made himself very elusive.
Cranmery pushing right at the ground for the Bulldogs, but looks uncomfortable down back when under pressure. He needs to get more up the ground. When he gets the handballs, he just looks a bit shaky.
Clever kick from Pavlich, wasn't it? So Ballantyne, you've got the opening goal. Can match Hill here with the 4th goal for the Dockers. Just used his forearm, didn't he, to get rid of his opponent. No hands in the back, so should be a soda from here, and the Dockers finish the quarter strongly. So 2 to Ballantyne and 2 to Hill. So they get themselves into a good spot after the Bulldogs had plenty of it. So quarter time here on a Sunday at Etihad. It's 1-4 to 4-2.